It's 1962 in tiny Ruleville, Mississippi. Fannie Lou lives in the shack on Mr. D's plantation with her husband Pat and their 2 daughters. Early one morning in August, there was a knock. Pat finds 2 young white men standing at the door.
Hello, we are having a meeting tonight to talk to black folks about registering to vote. Can you attend?
We don't vote around here.
Don't you want a better life for your children?
I know you boys mean well, but you better be going.
Fannie Lou and Pat watch the young men knock on their neighbor's door.
Anybody going to that meeting is asking for trouble. Black folks get murdered for speaking up and people don't ask questions.
That's even more reason to stop waiting and start changing things ourselves back.
The next morning, Fannie Lou is called to Mr. D's house. She is one of his best cotton pickers.
Mr. D is looking at a catalog when she arrives.
What's that you're on, Mr. D?
Machines, they pick cotton as quickly as 20 people put together. I'm getting one.
Picking cotton is hard, but it's the only decent-sized black person you can get here. Now that might be taking place.
Don't forget to dust one of the couches.
I thought I'd start in the bathroom.
Forget that, it's only the dog's bathroom.
Fannie Lou starts to get angry. As she cleans, she keeps hearing Mr. D's voice. It's only the dog's bathroom.
Her family doesn't have running water or a toilet inside their shack, but Mr. D's dog has its own bathroom. That night, Fannie Lou goes to the voter registration meeting. The police patrol outside with dogs. The mayor writes down the names of people walking in.
There are 40 people at the meeting. Will and James stand up and say they are from the SNCC. The organization works to help black people learn to vote.
I know you risked a lot coming here, and I know you saw the mayor writing down names, but he's an elected official. People voted him into office. People can vote him out.
To do that, though, you have to go down to the county office to register. That's the first step on the long road to freedom.
We'll lose our jobs if we try that.
If you do, we'll make sure your family eats.
We have a bus going down to the county courthouse on Friday. He'll come with us. Fannie Lou looks around. Not one hand is up. People are afraid. She's scared too. Slowly, she raises her hand. I'll go.
Fannie Lou's neighbors are inspired. They raise their hands too. On Friday, Fannie Lou and 15 others ride a school bus to the courthouse. When they arrive, the sheriff locks the door. His hand is on his gun.
What are you here for? We came to register to vote. You can't bring all these people inside. You'll have to go in 2 at a time. They wait for hours. Finally, it's Fannie Lou's turn to step up to the desk. What's your name? I want you to interpret the 16th section of the Mississippi Constitution regarding de facto laws.
I don't know what those are.
The register laughs and Sam's looks sharp. Ha ha ha.
Fannie Lou and her neighbors ride back to Ruleville in silence.
The test was hard. I guess I didn't pass. Maybe I'm too dumb to vote after all.
They only make the test hard for blacks. Some whites can't even read it.
Suddenly, a police officer stops at the bus. Will and James get out.
Inside the bus, people all nervous. Fannie Lou starts singing. She gets everyone to join in. When James and Will return, everyone in the bus is calm.
They fined us $30. Our bus is too yellow.
Too yellow. What does that mean?
It means they are trying to scare us. They don't want you to vote. They want us to quit.
The next morning, Mr. D comes over to Fannie Lou's shack.
Where were you yesterday?
Trying to register to vote.
We can't have that. I'm warning you. Only once get your name off that list or you'll leave this plantation today.
And I guess I'll have to leave.
You have 2 hours to pack your bags and get out.
Pat watches Fannie Lou toss a few things she has into her trunk.
Fannie Lou, it's not too late. You could reconsider this assignment. We've been here for 18 years.
For 18 years, I've taken care of Mr. D's children and kept his books. I've nursed his family when they were sick. How come I'm good enough to do all that? but not good enough to vote.
Why is voting so important?
If all these people are trying to keep us from doing it, it must be pretty important.
William James hired Fannie Lou to help them register to vote in Ohio. Soon after, violence breaks out. In Louisville, houses are set on fire, 2 girls are shot and seriously injured.
This voting is getting dangerous, Fannie Lou. We gotta make sure you're safe until things calm down.
I didn't want to drag you and our girls into this time. I'll take care of myself. You make sure the kids are okay.
Fannie Lou goes to the SNCC training classes and meetings across the South. Wherever she goes, she tells people how important it is to register to vote. She goes back to Louisville in the winter. People are hungry. There's little work.
Fannie Lou helps give out clothes and food in town. Hundreds of people line up. She gets an idea.
Don't close. There's plenty for everybody. But she has to register to vote
You
first.
got a jacket for my boy?
I sure do, but you've got to come down to the county courthouse on Friday.
Okay, it's a deal. Forget voting. We've got to eat.
You've got to vote too, or you'll never be a first-class American.
But look how much you've lost for trying to register.
Black people have been beaten and killed for no reason. Now at least we're suffering for something positive.
Slowly, more and more blacks register to vote. But the test they give blacks to register is still very hard. Fannie Lou has failed the test a few times. This time she is ready.
Good luck, Fannie Lou. I studied hard and I know every word in the Constitution. They won't be able to turn me down this time. Don't count on that, Fannie Lou. The odds are against you. If you were white, you might not even have to take the test. That's why I'm going to keep trying. It's not fair. Nothing's going to stop me.
Finally, in January 1963, Fannie Lou passes the test. She registers to vote. In June, Fannie Lou and 2 of her fellow workers are arrested outside a restaurant in Mississippi.
The police give no reason. They question Fannie Lou at the jail.
I just saw your record. Why were you in South Carolina a few months ago? Why?
For citizenship training school.
You were there in March and you were there to see Martin Luther King Jr. We are not going to have that, understand?
An hour later, the officer leads Fannie Lou into another cell. He orders 2 black inmates to beat Fannie Lou.
Make her wish you were dead.
The inmates look shocked.
If you don't do what I said, what I did, you won't be nearly as nice.
The inmates beat Fannie Lou. The next day, Fannie and her friends are released.
The federal government files charges against the officer involved in the arrest and beating. They are eventually found not guilty by a white jury. William James hold a meeting shortly after Fannie Lou is released from jail. This must stop. Let's put our own candidates on the ballot for governor and lieutenant governor in November.
It's too late for that. Besides, how can we do that when people are being beaten for even trying to register to vote?
What if black people didn't have to go register? What if they didn't have to go down to the county courthouse at all?
They can't vote without doing that. I don't understand.
The people in charge of voting aren't letting black folks pass their voting test. So let's have our own mock election. We'll call it the Freedom Vote.
When politicians see how many black people want to vote, they won't be able to ignore us anymore.
In November, civil rights workers travel across Mississippi. They've set up a ballot boxes in restaurants, beauty parlors, and on plantation. Fannie Lou and the others go around to argue people to vote in the freedom vote.
Good morning, sir. My name is Fannie Lou Hammer. Have you heard about the freedom vote?
I don't vote. It's not worth the trouble.
You don't have to go down to the courthouse.
I don't.
You can vote right here.
But if my boss uses my name, I'll lose my job and house. I've got children.
No one will take down your name.
Is that so?
That's so. We got Doc Henry running for governor and the Reverend Ed King for lieutenant governor.
Doc Henry? He's a good man.
He sure is, and if you vote today, someday you'll be able to elect Doc Henry or someone as good as he is in the real election.
Show me what to do.
On the night of the election, several white locals have a huge victory party. You might wonder why we're calling this victory when Doc Henry won't be our next governor, but something important happened to say.
It felt good to cast my vote. I like being able to have a say like other Americans.
About 90,000 people voted in our special election.
I guess people can't keep saying that black folks aren't interested in voting.
That's right. But you know what's even more important? Doc Henry got more votes than the man who won the election.
You mean if we were registered and actually voted in the real election, Doc Henry could have won?
Yes, until that happens, though, we have to take whatever victories we can. We have taken our first steps in freedom. Afterwards, Fannie Lou Core continues the fight to make it easier for blacks to vote. She ran for governor and state senior leader in life, but lost. Though she died in 1977, her walk lives on. Today, Mississippi has more African American elected officials than any other state in the union.